that is the primary theory towards destabilization and getting away from the globalist American empire. I don't know if you
And
guys want to talk about that or not.
that's the topic of today's episode.
Is the
How we need to
GAE?
succeed. How do we set up this newfound government?
That's one of my favorite things about online political discourse is the American empire. Globalist American empire is the acronym. The acronym is GAE. So people will just say "gay" in like very serious papers and discourse, and
Yeah.
it's just it takes me. It's hard not to chuckle at that. But all right, so we're here for the weekly strength club Q&A, Reddit shitposting, and general tomfoolery. How's it going? I'm here with Chase Lindley at the bottom, right?
Yep, my name is Chase Lindley.
Chase Lindley can confirm. Mick, what's your name?
My name would be Mick.
Would be Mick Solomons. What are you guys known for? Chase, what are you up to? What are you doing?
I'm just known for being extremely white and coming from Wichita Falls. But no, I'm a starting strength coach. I've been a starting strength coach for a couple of years now, and now I'm head coach at our franchise location here in Oklahoma City.
Chase has been a starting strength coach for 1 day longer than I've been a starting strength coach.
Mhm.
And I will be forever
One whole
salty
day.
about it. Yes, he was January 1st. I was January 2nd.
Do they?
What
Do
was
they?
the-
Oh, I'm not gonna say that. Actually.
What was the
Sorry, keep
days
going.
for the Capitol riots? Was that January 2nd or was that 3rd? What was that?
Nah, it's a 6th.
Oh, it's the 6th? Oh, God. I got to switch my anniversary to do that. I got to see if I can change my paperwork. Yeah, here we go, Bo. Yeah, don't say gay. No matter what you do in this stream, we cannot say it. Mick, what are you up to? What have you been doing?
Just getting the app together, just updating some stuff. Should have an update out hopefully next week, which fixes a couple of things.
Is this the back extension update or what is this?
No, we're not allowed to talk
Is this
about
to where
that.
we can have pride flags in our background?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's the pride feed.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, support Ukraine.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, God. Man, we really got to bring back the alt-right barbell club. That was a.
I know. We need to get Rusty back on here.
That's
He's
true.
he's gone full alt right.
Yeah, he's gone man.
He's
Right now,
really-
probably
he really
off the grid
has.
right now.
He's on his
Did
quad
he end
bike.
up getting
with his-
married?
Yeah.
He got
He's
married.
already
right?
married. Yeah,
He's
already
married. Oh, he's married.
He's
alright.
married. He has kids.
Yeah.
He's doing the whole thing.
He's starting an underground bunker society.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
Yeah.
So Chase, you were at the starting strength seminar last weekend, right?
I was.
Just like
I
2
was.
days ago. How'd that go?
It was good. We kind of had a smaller group, but it's still the same material. Still interesting group of people that come in and just taught them. And me specifically, I presented all like the long teaching progression steps, and then showed people from the long to the short version. We do that for every single lift. And yeah, that's what it
Which
is.
ones? Which ones were you running for the demos?
I did the deadlift, the squat, did the bench lecture and the bench platform, as well as the press. I didn't do
Dude,
the
they were
power
just
clean.
having you do everything.
It's fine. I've done it before.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Who did the
first.
squat?
What's up?
Who did the
I was
squat?
gonna say keep going.
The squat lecture, that was Rip. He did it himself.
Rip. Okay. Nice. I haven't seen Rip do any of the instructionals or like the when you go out to the other room to do the short version. Does he do those
I actually haven't seen him do that either.
in quite some time?
I wouldn't say it's below him. It's just he spends a great deal of talking. I mean, hell, he knows the material more so than anyone else. So those kind of instructional little tidbits of like the long teaching progression and then the short are kind of just the recaps and kind of what the coaches see and what they kind of pick out as they're coaching and teaching people, and they kind of emphasize that. So like he would just be like, look, you're all fucking up with the back angle. We're going to go deep in an analysis into the back angle and then deep analysis into the hip drive, all that stuff. So it's normally like a 10, 12-minute talk at the most, and he'd probably keep it like in an hour or so.
Keeping it a solid hour. It's good to be passionate about these things.
Yeah.
So last week we were doing the starting strength subreddit, and some people were cross-posting into the Stronglifts one. I think it was Mick's idea or someone in the audience's idea to go through the Stronglifts subreddit. It is a absolute trash fire. So all of the memes that we normally talk about, like making jokes about, they're like well on display here. This was a fun deadlift. So this is someone's first time pulling. Hey, it's John Carr. How's it going, John? This is late presentation 9024's first time pulling 500. Everybody. Very excited for this one.
Oh,
Hold on.
baby.
Hold on, it gets better. It gets
Oh,
better.
no.
Damn.
Well, you know what's impressive about that is the fact that he can do that without snapping his spine. That's crazy.
Yeah, the spine is very resilient,
Like he is twisting it up.
He literally
Twisting it
walked
up.
his
He
deadlift.
is
That's awesome.
twisting his spine
It's
to get it
pretty
up.
sick, yeah.
That is awesome.
And then he said he would appreciate any advice, which is good. I like that a lot. That's a good attitude to have. But yeah,
He's
this
very
He
is
humble,
actually
you know?
stepped. He actually stepped forward to
Yeah,
get it as
he's
well.
walking around with fucking 500 pounds. He's very humble about, you know what?
twisting his
I just
spine.
did this really good. It felt kind of wrong, but I would like some advice.
It's a good farmer's
it is impressive. Like you gotta give him that. It is impressive.
It
Yeah.
is legitimately impressive, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what some of the comments said on this. What the hell? This has to be a troll. Young people are insane. Came here for the comment. LMAO. Spine
LMAO.
day.
Spine day.
Posted from beyond the grave. Ego lifting in its ripest form. Yeah, I would generally say if you have to take a step forward on your deadlift, you're doing something a little bit wrong. This was fun to watch, though. This reminded me of like being so psyched up to lift when I was like 19 and just getting in there and being as stupid as humanly possible.
Is that you? It kind of looks like you a bit when you were 19. You're the
At
same.
some
You're the
point
same.
it was me.
You're the same shade. Of,
Yeah, the same
of
shade.
grey.
Oh man, clean pull though. Would he get white lights on this? Was there downward movement? A little bit of hitching?
I'm sure in some federations this will be all right, but
In some federations. But yeah, this was like one of the top posts. I was really excited to see that. But I popped up a bunch of these, so we're gonna go through and then see what we can find. We'll do some genuine ones and then a bunch of trolly ones. Squats will get you injured in the long term. How bad is it? Oh, I thought this one was good. He called the conventional deadlift the trad deadlift.
the fuck?
So if you're a progressive, if you're a liberal, you have to use the sumo deadlift because the conventional deadlift is now the trad deadlift. I like that one a lot. But I don't think these pulls are actually that bad. So this is C Work Does Work, and his name is probably Chris Work, if I had to bet. These kind of look like just typical gym deadlifts. I think this is quite fine.
Yeah, like they're just trying to squat it up versus actually the correct pulling mechanics and stuff.
Yeah, this is squatting the bar up. Generally, whenever we see people trying to squat the bar up, the thing that's going to kind of dictate or influence that the most is kind of the head gaze and the hip height. So if someone is trying to look straight ahead or look up, generally they're going to ram their hips down really far. And then that'll leave them in a position where they think they can push with their legs, and they can when it's sufficiently light. This guy seems like he weighs almost 200 pounds, and he's only pulling 275. So he certainly has a lot more room to grow. So what we want to do here is get his legs out of the way and pull the bar rather than pushing. How do you normally like to set that up, Chase?
First, I like to fix the hip heights because that's going to now move the knees out of the way. It's going to help dictate a more efficient bar path. Going to put the shoulders where they need to be, a little bit more over the bar. So just moving the hip height into the correct position here is going to be totally fine. And then at that point, to help emphasize keeping the hips in that proper position, I may put a hand like right where the waistband is, or even just cue the waistband, making that come up first. Kind of like how he does in the initial last part of the lift, how he's maintaining his shoulders over the bar a little bit longer. And then at the end, he's going to get pretty vertical pretty fast.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like this, so on the first rep, and some kind of things that lend credence to our points here, things that you'll notice whenever you watch people as they get more fatigued. As at the beginning of the set, he's going to set his hips up really, really low. Okay, he's doing that intentionally because he thinks it's helping him. As he gets more fatigued later on, the hips are being set up higher and higher and higher because that's where they need to be eventually to pull the bar. So he's setting them up low. They shoot up when he starts the pull, and if we compare it to rep 3, his hips are higher on the setup, and they still shoot up every time.
Yep.
So when we're telling you to get your legs out of the way, set the hips up, this is kind of exactly why. Let's see, dropping your 2 hips too low. Go watch the SS or Thrall. Oh, nice. Somebody recommended the SS. There we go.
Cool, yeah.
I find it very funny that people differentiate the Alan Thrall setup for the deadlift. Chase, I've mentioned this to you before.
Yeah, it's like it's subtle little wording and just kind of a little bit of manipulation like that. But it's
he says
exactly
1 to 2 inches as opposed to 1 inch, and you're like, oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, we got it. Easy peasy. Hips are rising before they rise the bar. Widening your stance in grip. I thought lower if center of gravity will help you with the lift. That may or may not work. Looks fine to me. Don't listen to you.
Was that you, Alex?
This one's interesting. He says the foot position is messed up. Can't see.
How do you know that?
Interesting. Looks pretty solid, dude. One thing I like about these not very discerning lifting communities is they're all just very positive.
No, yeah,
They're like,
man,
hey,
bro,
that
you're
looks
doing
great,
good.
dog. And it's like, does it? All right, so this is Alfie Blackpool. He's deadlifting 107 kilos.
So it's the same thing as like what
It's
we
the
saw
same thing.
that
Yeah.
C work dude. Yeah, except that this guy is probably using a little bit of a lighter weight in terms of him, so where you can kind of get away with it just a little
Mhm.
bit, but you're still seeing that initial hip rising, his knees pulling back, and then the bar starts coming back into the proper alignment.
And this thing that he's doing with his knees, even whenever I was like functionally uncoached on the deadlift, just organically, I never did this. And I've seen some people do it, and I'll be like, hey, do you notice the bar hitting your legs? Do you notice the bar like hitting your knees on the way down? And they'll be like, not really, even though it's this huge clunk coming forward and off the legs.
Yeah.
I've never understood how people do that comfortably. Yeah, I think people, if I had to guess from the comments, people are going to say these deadlifts are decently solid.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly do not. Bar's not over midfoot. Okay, this guy just posts the SS in the thrall deadlift video. That's pretty sick. Let the bar come down. Looks good. You need to make sure you're hinging at the hips before you bend your knees. Oh man, I love when people talk about hinging.
Good old hip hinge.
Good old hip hinge. Pack your lats. How are your lats doing, Chase? Have you packed them recently?
I try to. I think they can be a little bit more packed, but right now
They
they're
could
doing
be
good.
more packed. Okay, you're trying to compress them down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Can you zoom out a little bit? I think it's kind of clipping it on my
Did
screen
this get
anyway.
too small?
No, it's too big and it's kind of clipping. I can't see the left hand. Yeah, you go. That's better.
All right, hold on. We're figuring this out. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Ooh, beautiful. Okay. All right, so Anana Sauce posted. He says, should I change MR starting strength, Mr. Starting Strength, for SL 5x5? This is the first time I've seen anyone call starting strength MR starting strength, and I realized it's because it's Mark Ripito's starting strength. So it's Mr. Starting Strength.
Mm-hmm.
So you could probably call Rip that, I think, if you wanted to, Chase.
Hey, Mister.
Mr. Starting
Mr.
Strength.
Starting Strength. Guys who have apparently stuck to the program for 6 months have barely had any visible improvement. Not any noticeable changes in definition, and even by their own admittance, the actual muscle size increase had been minuscule. Some of them even gained body fat.
Oh my god.
I used to do Mad Cow's 5x5 10 years ago, and remember I bulked up pretty fast, and people would usually comment on that too. I don't want to go straight to Mad Cows because I thought that's more of an intermediate program. Considering this, would it be better for me to switch to Stronglifts? What do you guys think?
I think, well, I mean, it's basically Stronglifts ripped off starting strength. So I mean, what's the fucking difference?
Yep.
I mean,
well, in my own experience, everyone who's done Stronglifts has actually stopped doing Stronglifts and they've gone back to doing starting strength. So it's like I have never seen the opposite. So
what's the difference between the programs?
So it's standard. You have a 3x5 at the start for both the squat, the bench, and the press. So all three of those are going to be a 3x5, and then incrementally loading 5 pounds to that. And the deadlift, we just start with the 1 set of 5. Now there's some really it's starting out heavier than any other lift. The deadlift, it's in terms a little bit more stressful. And it's worked really well for just doing 1 set of 5. So we don't need to do anything other than just 1 set of 5. Now the problem is that if shit's being is not going up, if you're not finding yourself making progress, you probably need to look at the first 3 questions. So there's an article about that, about are you eating enough? Are you sleeping enough? What's the jumps in between reps and stuff like that? Rest time in between sets. If you can accurately say you're doing everything right, then you change one independent factor. So it could be your intensity, your frequency, all the programming variables, one modification at a time. That's how you transition to something, into a new program, instead of just programming hop.
Man.
But I mean, what's the difference though between Stronglifts and starting strength? Is it just they do 5x5 and we do 3x5? Is that?
So I think we did an episode on this a long time ago.
We did. Yeah.
So the short version of it is that they replace the chin. They don't, chin ups are not in there. They put the row in. So they alternate between rows and deadlifts, and they use 5x5s on both of them, I believe. So it is more frequent, more volume, less deadlifting, and I think they also put in a secondary upper body movement. But kind of the short of it is that they use the same approach to linear progression with the weights, but they increase the volume on it fairly dramatically across the week. Generally, what happens is that people stall out way earlier than they would on the lower volume version. And I think a good bit of that is because of the selection of some of the things they're doing. So it's like they're doing more volume on the deadlift, which you don't necessarily need. And then on the days when they're not deadlifting, they're doing rows, but the volume for the rows isn't good for that type of barbell row in particular, because essentially they're not doing a productive deadlift and they're not doing a productive row because it's generally too heavy to do a row and the reps are really low. So instead of doing like 12 to 8 reps on like a light bodybuilding row, they're doing heavy sets of 5 on a shitty row, even though you can barely deadlift anyways. So there's a lot of odd contradictions within strong lifts. But I think the episode we did on it before, Chase and
So I
it's
recently
pretty solid.
saw. So they have a Stronglifts app, and it shows all
Yeah.
the lifts and stuff. So one of our clients recently just got off the Stronglift program, and he came over here and he actually showed us all like the silly shit of like their exercise tutorials, kind of like how we have on the Starting Strength app.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have power
Well,
clean.
you calling it shitty, are you?
Stronglifts, yes, not.
Okay, well, it kind of sounded like you were lumping me in there with them.
No.
I haven't checked out the Stronglifts app before. I'd be curious to look at that.
It's just there's like no power cleans because no one knows how to teach it over there.
Yeah, no power
coaching
cleans.
is hard, stuff like that. Like I said, Mick, the only problem that I have is that we don't have pride flags on the app, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll get him in there. Chase Lindley, the Chase Lindley section of the app. Just be like Chase. It'll just.
Yeah, in
So
that
the
lab,
ones-
these are better than expected.
So he said his wrist hurts as he squats.
He's saying his wrist hurts when he squats. He's 6'1". He weighs 180 pounds. He's 19, everybody. He's squatting 155 for 5, and his wrists hurt.
I can't really see what his grip is looking like. Or
I'm not entirely sure
changing as he
either.
Squats.
No comments on this one. This was the Gooferator. Yeah, so I think these wrists are probably. If I had to bet, the wrists are cocked down, and I think he's doing this in kind of a high bar position. If I had to bet, one thing I've noticed is that some people, rather than tilting their hand out to the side and letting their wrist bend back, they'll try to keep their hand in line with the bar, if this is the bar, and then they'll do this, and it'll kind of really create this little pressure right here, as opposed to just kind of letting it turn and then bending it back. Yeah, John, thumbs over. It's generally our first solution. Like if you're doing thumbs over, as in thumbs on the same side of the bar, keeping your wrist really straight, it solves most of those problems. Especially with someone who's young, they have the shoulder mobility for it. It's not a problem at all. All right, so that was a decent, wholesome post. We'll alternate between the two. Yeah, so this guy was saying that and back to this one, this kind of is still driving me crazy. He said people who have stuck to the program for 6 months have barely had any visible improvement. Have you had anyone who's done the Starting Strength LP for 6 months straight, Chase?
Yeah, I've had several people. In fact, we have several people in our gym that have logbooks showing the progression that they've made in all lifts, not just like their squat, their bench, and their press, and their deadlift, but even like some assistance exercises like their rack pulls, maybe some haltings, and all that stuff is going up. Like they are physically, you can see the change on their body. We have the data showing that they physically have made improvement. So this guy he did not know what the fuck he was doing.
It's bonkers, man. I think when people even just define it as like no progress conceptually over that long of a period of time, it's like by definition you're a novice. You're just starting this whole thing out. The only task that you have to do is put a little bit of more weight on the bar each time that you're doing it. So when you're saying there's been no progress over a period like 6 months, it's just absolutely crazy. It's like there's such a low level of thinking when people are trying to go through it. I mean, how could someone not progress?
It's just the extreme goals too. Like this guy could probably look like that 19-year-old and then want to look like Ronnie Coleman at the end of 6 months or the long program, which is going to be impossible to do.
Can you see this, Chase?
Mm-hmm.
This is by BBT RPT. This is an older guy, I think.
Well, these aren't bad. A little bit high.
Yeah, a little bit high. There's some hip drive coming out of the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's keep checking these out. Very on the toes.
Yep.
Bar's
Just
a little
kind
bit
of
high.
he has a continuous knee slide as he progresses. Now, it kind of
Mhm.
the severity of it lessens as he kind of goes into it, but definitely on the first one, and then throughout the set, he has some knee sliding. He can't really hit depth because of that.
Yeah. The guy in the back is doing the same thing, Chase. I don't know if you can see the black guy in the back. He's doing the
No,
same
not
exact
really.
thing. Yeah, they're squatting very similarly, actually, which is pretty
They're
funny.
like
They're
looking
both,
at each other, like he's comparing himself to him to see what he looks like, and the other dude is
yeah.
too.
They're both popping up a little bit above depth. The knees are falling forward the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why we say that knee slide is an issue is because it tends to screw with depth. The reason we want the knees anchored in position is so that we can have those in a set spot and then the hips can rotate down and around them. Then you can get to depth. When the whole system is sliding forward, chances are the bar will also go forward of midfoot. Whenever the bar starts to go forward of midfoot, people like to stand back up because it's starting to get a little bit dicey. So to keep the bar in a straight vertical line, the knees have to get set into position and the rest of it has to rotate down around the knees. So
Mhm.
basically, we want to set the knees. When we're saying set them, we mean physically, like don't let the knees move forward or backwards. Set the knees in position, and then the rest of the squat can happen down and around it. I wonder if any comments on this one. Let's see. Quick question. Oh, here we go. Ankle mobility. Have you ever assessed your ankle mobility? When you look at your squat, your lower back and sacrum rounds, you get the deepest portion of the movement. That's really interesting. I don't think I understand that. Adequate forward movement of the knees. All right, so he's saying that there's not adequate forward movement of the knees, despite. Let's look
So
at
you
how
want
forward these
you
things
want
get.
this guy to do a fucking front squat? What does this guy want to
It's
do?
like, how much more forward do you want these things to get?
And look at the angle of his shin. Like how does he not have enough fucking ankle mobility at this
Yeah.
point? Like, do you want his toes to touch his fucking soleus?
Like, I really don't think there's. I'm trying to think of from a more severe version of this. Like, I don't think these things can get any more for. Unless, I mean, I guess we could put an extra 2 inches of heel under him. All right, so we got one
Yeah, I
comment
don't
for
know.
one vote for ankle mobility, and he said my back doesn't hurt. That's good. It looks like you're probably leaning over. Lower the bar down your back. Right now it looks like it's on top of your traps. Interesting. We'll try that. Okay, cool. These are we got half and half there on the votes there.
Yeah.
Half and half, everybody. All right, so we got another form check from FI. We'll see how this one goes. He's in socks, very wide. Okay, this was surprising. He got deeper than I thought he was going to get.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we got a full panoramic view here.
Full pan. This is the CrossFit squat.
Yeah.
This
is actually like a pretty good textbook high bar squat.
Mm-hmm. Props to the calves. Guys, nice calves.
He has a cool little moon calf too, or tattoo.
All right, let's wait. Let's wait and see we get to the side angle here. Boop. Yeah. Okay. I think he's almost maybe getting a little bit behind midfoot on these.
Yeah, I think he just needs to wear shoes and he'll be totally fine.
Yeah, I think squat shoes. He needs to be A++ high bar squats. Work on your walkout. Does anyone feel like the bar is a little bit too high? Yeah, it's as high as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
Narrow the feet a little bit more. You have hip shift, maybe poor external rotation. Let's see where this takes us, guys.
Here we go.
Oh, or at squat you. Oh man! All right, I can't do that. I'll kill myself. All right.
Hurts. Yeah, that just hurts to look at.
Look at these. Look at all these lines, Chase. Look at these things.
Look how important this thing is.
He has left glute pain and lower back pain. Man. All right. I do like those things because it just kind of shows that someone just got excited about a video. He was just excited that he saw it and wanted to share it. You know?
Like, yes, I know
now
the perfect solution.
Perfect. Yes. Now I can apply that thing that I learned. That's pretty sick.
Yes.
All right, this one may or may not be very rough. We'll see. This could be empty bar too. We'll see how this goes.
He has some weight on.
Does he?
I think so. I think I see a reflection in the mirror.
Oh yeah, good mirror foo there. Okay, there's a plate on.
Plus, my boy's rocking khaki shorts. He's about to squat a shit ton.
I don't even know where they sell those anymore. I don't know where you can buy cargo shorts, khaki cargo shorts.
Probably
Costco.
Amazon. Yeah, or some shit like that.
Ooh, man, these are weird. What a
Jeez.
fast descent. What a snappy young man.
It's surprising you can do that in those cargo shorts, to be honest. You think they're just completely...
Nah.
It's kind of like a...
There are people that fought wars in those. All of the wars Australia has ever fought.
Yeah, it's true, actually.
Yeah.
A bunch of they originated in like India too. So like whenever they were fighting Pakistan, they were just wearing nothing like khaki.
Everybody on any safari who's ever fought some sort of big game,
Is
was
that
probably wearing
khaki.
Is that where they keep their toilet paper just for emergencies?
in the
You
cargo?
keep anything
in the
In the giant pockets in the legs.
Dude,
high utility.
anything.
I remember thinking those were cool in high school.
Yeah, I wore them in middle school.
Have you ever eaten curry, Chase? Like a really hot curry?
Not really hot, but I've had like American style curry.
Nah.
So no.
What even is that?
I can't handle any spicy things at all.
I shouldn't have said that. I should have said like Americanized, meaning like it was still like an Indian person or like I actually had like a Thai person cook it. So it wasn't actually like, oh, this shit's fucking gonna burn your mouth.
They did it in context of who you are, Chase.
Exactly. They're like, oh, this guy's white, so he's not gonna handle heat.
Yeah.
Which I love hot stuff, but I've never had like authentic, like this will burn your asshole and your lips type shit.
Slow down. That's the first one here. How slow of a descent? I'm just going down as fast as I can, or as fast as I feel in control. That's a good idea. Way too fast. Damn, that's awesome. So he said, I can tell you've got 1.5 million cues going through your head, and then he gave him a ton of cues to go through. That's pretty sick. Oh, here we go. Here's a video on transverse ab drills. Let's check this out.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. Oh, it's an ad.
They heard us talking about
monkey noises. Did you see that?
Harry Stemler teaches... All right, I can't. We're not doing that one. Where are we? We're at Brian Stemler. 32
Minnesota Dance Medicine.
Is this real? Is this where this link went? Is this the right link?
It is.
Oh, damn. Can you guys hear this?
No.
Okay, so this is a 2-hour lecture. So from this guy saying you have too many cues running through your head, he capped it off with a 2-hour lecture on transverse.
This guy's such a fucking troll.
This is pretty sick.
I don't want you to overthink it, but here's all this material.
Here's 2 hours on dancer alignment for Minnesota dance medicine. Dance medicine as a concept is very cool as well. I'm pretty psyched about dance medicine.
Do you think that kid looked up that video and was like, "Yeah, this is gonna help"?
I was like, this has to be the wrong link, because he's linking how to squat with Chris Duffin and dance alignment right next to each other.
God damn, dude. The amount of knowledge that guy holds is...
You got to combine these two foreign schools. Man, all right. So
we're not going to watch the Minnesota dance meditation?
I'm good,
dude.
2
hours.
And how to improve
we can do that. We can do that in another podcast where we go deep dive into the...
Starting strength coaches react. We can start doing those videos.
Okay, so
I don't mind this so far, to be honest.
They're squeezing between their knees. That's you, Mick. You're the ball.
Yeah, please. It's my dream in life.
Oh man, that's just such an interesting.
Why was some of the women using balls and the other ones were using like rolled up?
I think it's just whatever you have.
Question.
I think it's just whatever you have there.
It wasn't like a degree of difficulty or some shit like that.
You think you need the adductors going? I think you need to tighten up the pelvic floor during the transverse abdominis breathing drill. Because if this is open, all that air is just going to flow out rapidly.
Your guts are going to fall through your stomach.
Done. You're absolutely done. All right. So Ghoul_M said he tried some stretches. Please let me know if there's any additional form changes on my squat.
Are we about to see a stretch video?
Oh, dude, that's sick. He's squatting he has a pocket knife in.
This dude is a leveled up before that other guy.
Yeah.
This might be the difference between starting strength and strong lift is just lifting in cargo pants / shorts.
There are a lot of utility clothings happening.
Yeah.
It's strong lifts.
Like another kind of off balance high bar squat.
Yeah, another behind the heels, a little bit behind the heels. This is one of those interesting things where the arm almost gets to like here. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Chase? Where he's doing
Yeah.
those things with the elbows. That has always seemed so rough to me, but some people just kind of naturally fall into it. All right, so how would you help Ghoul_M here, Chase?
One, we got to figure out the midfoot here. So you're going to rock back and forth from your toe to your heel. Notice the most balanced position. That's going to be the midfoot. And the reason why it's the midfoot is that it's the centermost aspect of the foot, right? From there, you're going to put the bar a little bit lower on your back, and we're going to kind of fix the grip here. So you may need to go in a little bit narrower with the hand placement. Hopefully that bunches everything up just as much as you can withstand. Putting the bar lower will make you lean over, and then we'll have the balance issue solved, and this will be totally fine.
Damn, those look awesome. Holy hand grenade. Are you sure? Nothing to fix? What stretches did you try? 90-90. Dude, form looks great. I would suggest straightening your wrists. Side note, do not recommend squatting with pants. That's fair. What is
He's
going
not
on
living
here?
life.
All right, form looks good, assuming you're not getting lower back pain. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he's very clearly on the heels, and then he's not getting his knees very forward at all.
No.
Yeah, everything that Chase said plus some, man. You got to get the knees forward a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I thought this was kind of a... I just realized this now. I thought the video was almost looping, but he's just done an incredibly large amount of reps. He's just doing, like a 10, 15 rep set on
He's doing
these, so that's pretty
hypertrophy.
cool. He's doing some hype. He's trying to get the trophy, man. He's trying to get the hypertrophy. We got there's a bunch of questions as well that I thought were going to be of import here to see what the Stronglifts subreddit is about. So he said a few questions. I'm starting the program from scratch. I've had a serious case of fuck around-itis, doing random programs for a week, then moving on to another and another. And I made my own, coming back after a few weeks from surgery and starting the program. Do you need to add accessory work, or is the baseline program enough to cover everything? Also, can you run the program using sumo deadlifts? No reason other than I just feel like my form is better using sumo. Damn.
Holy fuck.
Damn.
Oh, God.
Look
For
at
the
this
love of
novel.
God.
Mick, do you ever read the emails that I send to people on form checks when people send them
Never.
in? Okay.
Never.
They're just like this, basically.
I know. Well, that's why I don't read them. Otherwise, I probably would if there was.
Oh, they're just a fucking mess.
I just love at the very bottom is like, you got this.
I love this. This one is fun. So this is kind of like the last post where the guy was like, "You're thinking about too much. Here's this 2-hour lecture on breathing." He starts this with, "Here's the thing. People love to overcomplicate this program," and then all of this before you got this. I find that quite nice. He's like,
Someone
man.
upvoted that. Someone upvoted that as well. That's,
there we go. Two people. He's like, don't try not to overcomplicate
No, one,
it.
because
Also,
you start on one.
Do you start on one?
You start on one, so one person upvoted it.
How's it going, G-Lock? We're doing Reddit court basically.
And
the Stronglifts
blocks
subreddit.
in the chat.
Blocks in the chat. This is a strength program, not a hypertrophy program. Those are very different. Everyone knows those are not the same. Focuses on a small amount of compound lifts. This is also a novice program. You reached a point in your strength journey. I'm just trying to pick out all the keywords.
This is awesome.
These exercises are called accessories. He introduces accessories. As Mark, oh, here we go. We got a little Mark Ripito shout out. It's the ladder. Is this a specific Mark Ripito quote? Who has stronger lats, the guy who can do 20 pull-ups and deadlift 250, or a guy who can deadlift 450? It's the latter. Who has a stronger core, the guy who can squat 225 or 375? The latter. Those seem very Mark Ripito-y. That's fine.
Yep.
He's in the myths and legends category of fitness. People just kind of prescribe quotes to him. 16 and a half sets of legs, pulling volume. This is actually true. In addition to its poor volume distribution, it's also low in volume in general. Interesting. Stronglifts has decently high volume. Let's see where this link takes us, guys. Oh, we're on the fitness wiki. Right. Oh, man.
So this is nothing but like, no.
This is just straight up, just kind of uber memes. It's like recommending. It's like, oh, are you just starting? Consider 531 for absolute novice. It's pretty cool. Let's see what else is going on here. Valuable accident. What a nice name. What a nice name for a nice young man.
Dude, I don't know where the fuck these guys are learning the fucking squat, but these look all identical. Like either just high barring, two forward. I mean, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, they're all very kind of spot on with each other.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Polly's about the angle. He's been on Jesus Christ. He's been on Stronglifts 5x5 for 3 months and wondering if the squat form is okay. It seems like he's squatting. How much does it seem like? It seems like we got 30, 50. He's squatting like 70 kilos, I think, between 60
like
to 70
or
kilos
80. Yeah.
after 3 months of training. All right, where would you start with this, Chase? How would you help Valuable Accident out on his squat form check?
Putting the bar lower, sitting back, using the hips instead of the knees there. So once you're squatting about halfway through it, you're going to stop the knee movement. Now they can go out laterally. That's fine. Enough to where they're tracking over the toes, but you don't want them to go too far forward where they're getting over the toes, like how this guy is. Because you'll see now he's getting into his toes. Heels are coming up, and he's lost essentially the ability to use his hips and sit back into that musculature.
This is an interesting take. Ryan Maya said if Chase were to get up to 300 pounds, he could press 500. I don't know. That seems hard. What do you think, Chase?
Maybe. I mean, if
five
I had
bills?
like another, I don't know. I bet if I could get on to like another 50 pounds of muscle, I bet so.
50 straight pounds of muscle? That'd be pretty sick, Chase.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck to do that without drugs, but
The natty professor over here, everybody.
let's try something.
One thing I've noticed this on a few of the Stronglifts form checks as well. A lot of people blur their face out, which I find very endearing. Because it's like, what if someone recognizes me trying to get help bettering myself and makes fun of me? And it's like, dude.
Probably this podcast is slightly responsible for some of
No
that.
one's going to do that.
Please don't roast me.
Live on YouTube to your 1,500 subscribers.
To our very loving and valuable subscribers.
Yes, loyal.
Again, this is like the same exact thing that we're all seeing.
I think it really may be from the starting or the Stronglifts.
The Stronglifts, they suggest this technique.
Yeah, because they don't fucking coach anything or understand.
Very knees forward, the bar inside of your neck as high as it possibly can get. Do not lean over no matter what.
Straight, yes.
Beyond the toes.
Can we actually watch? I think they do have a video on how to squat. Can we actually watch that?
Or
did we do? I don't know. Let's see if I can find a link.
Link in the wiki at the bottom of the sidebar. Wiki, workout A, squat. How to squat. Oh yeah, I remember we went over this. The instructions are pretty cool.
I'm sending you that link, Alex.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they have a fucking shit ton of
I sent you a link, Alex.
Tutorials.
Is it in the
private chat?
Hold on. We're getting it over. Ooh, he started it with "This is the number one mistake you must avoid." Can you guys hear this?
Mm-mm. I mean, it has captions on it.
All right, we got.
Oh, it's a shame too because he's you know, I like his accent.
Where's this guy from? Isn't this guy from like he's Western Europe, right?
I think he's French.
Yeah, I forgot. Someone in Europe fucking jacked off the starting strength and just
like if you look at this, if you look at this basement, it looks European.
Yeah,
it looks.
He's from Belgium. He's from Belgium, I think, isn't he?
Oh, Belgium. Okay,
something like that.
Yeah. So most of his squat instruction so far was just kind of put the bar on your back and sit down. That's pretty cool. This is 11 minutes. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I do like the incredibly long diatribe, though. I do like that. That's a very stylish thing to do.
Like the reason why he wants to squat like this, or
Exactly. Those like just the reasons why to squat, just in general. I mean, I get it. Starting Strength does that too. We have very long books on these things.
All right, enough of this bullshit. Can we do some user form checks, Alex?
I think we're through all of them, dude.
No, I reckon. When we have
Did
a
you
new
put
one from
more in there?
Yeah, I think there's some new. I think Stephen Louis sent a new one in, and
All right, let me check.
was it his squat? Because that's the one that we saw last time.
So anyway, there's a question: if Chase were to get up to 300 pounds, could he press 500 pounds?
Yeah, we've already talked about that, Mick. I need to gain like 50 pounds of muscle, straight ass muscle, and then maybe.
So the answer is steroids. That's the answer.
Yeah.
I have one new one that I'm downloading.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Should we do some React videos? What would people want to see us react to?
Huh.
Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know, dog.
It's not a bad.
Leave a comment, guys, if you want to see us do that shit.
Like and subscribe if you'd like us
All right, I'm pulling up our form check right now. Actually, yeah, I got a bunch of them through the email, and I just responded
because we need to get some
we'll see this
advertisers for this.
Some like
I want to
Joel
get this
Seaman
man
shit.
Some what?
Joel Seaman, the guy
Who's
who
Joel Seaman?
No,
Ooh,
it's Seedman, right?
Seedman.
Seedman.
I just call him
Seedman.
I was about to say, is this some kind of
Joel
porn star
Seedman.
or something? He's just.
No.
These went better than I expected them to go initially. I expected these to go very poorly.
I mean, I'm just loving the guy in the background doing whatever
That's
that thing
me.
is.
That's
your dad.
My dad's not balding, thank God. So
Mm.
I like this. It seems like he's wearing scrubs
Is
and
your
lifting
mother?
shoes. Bald. My mom is going bald, actually.
What's the bar behind him for?
I think that's
Superset?
somebody else's deadlift.
That's probably he's just working in.
He's just getting brutally mogged, though. The guy behind him is deadlifting 4 plates and some change. And our boy, A.K. Anderson here, he's only deadlifting 225.
Yeah.
And he's also wearing boxing
boots.
shoes, which is interesting. He's not necessarily watching... This is a good... You should match your shoes to the plates,
awesome,
no matter
yeah.
what you're doing, yeah. He can only deadlift reds. He can only increase in 90-pound increments from now on. He can't use any other color. All right, what do you think about these actual deadlifts, guys, though?
One, I want to narrow in his stance. I want his heels underneath his shoulder, or his hips rather, not underneath his shoulder. So this kind of looks like a squat stance almost. Now, which is crazy is because you would expect him to kind of almost want to squat it up since he's in that stance, but he does a good job of not doing that. But he's still fucking some shit up. So heels in. I want him to kind of hold his knees into position a little bit longer. So I've said this cue several times, the knees right in that elbow crease, holding that into position, not letting the butt go back, but just making the shoulders come straight up. Essentially keeping everything more forward as you push. This will hopefully iron out a lot of stuff.
Do you think his lockout needs a little bit of work?
A little bit. I think mostly it's just we may have to work on back extension. So he's really not doing any back extension except for like the top. Like he's somewhat showing off the chest on the later reps, but yeah, he's cutting it off a little bit. He needs to push his hips forward a little bit and lock out his hips.
Yeah, some people like to interpret the finishing position as more lower back extension, whereas in reality, like the hip needs to be pushed forward, right? So your thigh in relationship to your pelvis, that needs to be locked out, as opposed to just kind of arching your lower back. So some people will do this weird kind of like stripper butt thing. They'll like pop their butt out, push their belly forward basically, and then think they've finished the rep. Would a belt help? A belt may help. I don't think it's going to be the make or break.
Yeah, I wouldn't put this guy into a belt until he actually understands to control both aspects of the back extension.
Yeah, Bo. So his hip height is more or less fine on some of them. I think almost on the first one, his hip height was the most fine. It's going to look like he's doing a good morning because his back is just coming up. But everything that Chase said about the pacing, about the back and the knees, that's kind of what would solve this problem that you're seeing.
Yeah, he's just yanking his knees back a little bit too much, overextending them. So he just needs to slow down the extension or the rate of how fast he's straightening his knee.
Yeah. Chase, you got your competition coming up, right?
I do this weekend,
That's this weekend already.
this Saturday.
How are you feeling, man? Is the taper starting to kind of come in? Is everything starting to line up, you think?
Man, to be honest, these past few weeks have been kind of shit because I've been losing weight at the same time as just trying to preserve stuff, like my strength and my that power.
Is that weight
expression.
loss intentional or what?
Yeah, so I went from about 252, 255, and right now I'm about 240, 242. So
That is a non-negligible amount. That is a decent bit.
yeah. So I actually have to cut back to 239 at the day of the competition. So
Okay.
my strength has suffered just a little bit, but today I hit 125 on my snatch and then 160 for my clean and jerk. And I would like the clean to happen a little bit, or to be a little bit stronger. I've been kind of working on some technical issues as well as my snatch, but all in all, it wasn't bad.
Okay, cool. So you're thinking at least 125, 160, but aiming for 130 on the
I would
snatch?
love the total around 3. If I could get as close
Okay.
to 3, or if 3, that would be perfect.
Okay, cool, nice. And then technically, is there anything any sort of revelations you've had during this peak as things are kind of freshening up, or is everything just kind of feeling
I
the same
think
as it has been?
so. Whenever I clean, I kind of pop out the bar a little bit. I catch it
Yeah.
forward. I've been focusing now to kind of just hold my knees in place. So imagine if that guy that we just saw deadlift, if he were to power clean that, he would have to travel his knees really far forward again on
Back
that
in there.
second knee bend, and that bar would now have a major loop. So that's on a smaller scale what I'm doing with my clean. If I just hold, which I did today, I held my knees a little bit more in place, and I was able to use my shrug to kind of help lift up the bar better to the rack. I think that's a big thing we have to work on. It's just
So you're thinking, are you actively thinking shrug at the top of the jump?
I wasn't today. I was more so focused on the knee position, holding that there, and then the bar path was way straighter. The rack was a lot easier to the point where it kind of threw me off. I felt the bar kind of crash down on me a little bit. So that's kind of a good thing, kind of bad thing. Now I have to just compensate for the crash, but
Right.
I think the knee position was way better.
I just checked your Instagram out, Chase. No updates recently.
Yeah,
You're
I haven't
making me
been
so
posting
sad.
shit.
Man, you got to post stuff from the seminar. I think everybody else posts stuff when they go to the
On
seminar.
a seminar?
Yeah, people will take little videos and clips. I'll see it on the Facebook page all the time.
I'm too busy fucking working and yelling at people.
That's true. You are too busy doing an actual job when you're there
Yeah.
to be looking at social
Usually, and
media.
it's usually Nick who is like that's his other job to kind of market and express shit. So
Yeah. Oh, man. Did you have any particular hard cases when you were at the seminar, or did everything go pretty easily?
I did have a goofy guy.
Any wombats?
Yeah, we had a few, man. In particular, we had a guy. Saturday morning we do the squat lecture,
Yeah.
and in some of the portion we're talking about the back musculature, and more specifically what the lumbar is doing as you squat. So we need to test mainly the men in the group about if they can hold their lumbar into extension. And this guy didn't know what the fuck we were talking about, has never experienced his lumbar being into external or over exaggeration. It was pretty bad. One of the worst ones I've seen, to the point where it's like Rip even had a hard time kind of cueing him. He spent a good 10 minutes trying to work with this guy. So I had him on the power clean, which you would think why would that be such an issue on the power clean? But the pulling mechanics, so you have to have your back into extension as you pull.
Yeah.
Guy didn't know what the fuck he was doing there. So it just kind of had a major loop in the bar path. He was trying to let his knees go really far forward, so that way he had a more vertical back angle at the start, so he can set his back.
Was this a younger guy, older guy?
I don't know, older guy. So he's never power cleaned too. So
Yeah.
we just had a lot of stuff to work on. But at the end of it, he looked pretty good. He had a major arm pull. We stopped that, but we had some other problems still at the end of the day.
At what cost? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, man. I think I've just been, even all of the random one-offs that I'll do, I'll probably do, in terms of random new people, I would say between 3 to 5 random contacts a month. I haven't had a hard case in a good minute, like a seminar level
Really?
catastrophe. Yeah, I just
Damn,
have
dude.
not had any. I think it's like, or at least even on the power clean, it may just be kind of the bias in the way I've been teaching the power clean recently. Power clean teaching has been going pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good.
I've been lucking out on that. No one's been like, I fought in Vietnam and I want to power clean now. Luckily, that's not happening to me.
Yeah.
I'm getting some decent people who are like, staying active. So it's good to teach.
Good. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Do they ever get flashbacks when they see Alex? Because you trigger them.
No, it wasn't like the trees are speaking Vietnam. Speaking Vietnamese.
Nothing like that. Man, I think I would like to. I'm talking to
Go to Vietnam.
I'm sure Vietnam's lovely, Mick. Have you been there?
No, I hear good things though.
You look like a guy who would go to Vietnam.
Is the north?
I got way too much
north
hair for
aspect
that.
of Vietnam, is that still kind of fucked up? Are they still kind of like crazy, or is it all kind of mellowed out now?
No, I think they're unified, dude.
Mate, what do they teach you?
I know
what do they teach you at school? Yeah, you guys lost that war.
They're not.
Yeah,
lost that
I
war.
know. We should have fucking been over there, but
We left tactically.
Right,
we just got the fuck out of there. We hope for the best.
And the whole war was started on a lie. Let's not forget that as well. But anyway, sorry.
Hey, that's the only time that's ever happened. Wink, wink.
Oh yeah.
It had nothing to do with Iraq whatsoever.
No weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh,
Anywho,
man.
what were we talking about?
As soon as we get off the rails, it's immediate conspiracy theories.
Okay, what's a conspiracy theory that you believe though?
All of them? What? What does that even mean?
Which one don't I believe in? That would
Which
be
ones
easier.
don't I believe? Yeah, you got to start from the negative version.
Enough to where I'm sure I'm on someone's special list type shit.
We're on the list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A list of best friends with our FBI agents. That's it. Yeah. So my wife works in military. I've told you this. My wife's in military intelligence. My wife. So it's getting to the point now where she's like getting around in her office. She's learning things in her office. She's starting to get assigned to specific jobs and tasks and things like that. She can't tell me shit about her day at all. I'll be like, so what? I'll be like, what did you talk about today? Well, what she was like, I sat in this presentation, and then we went and talked about this lecture, sat through this slideshow, and I'm endlessly fascinated. She's like, I literally can't. You can't tell me anything. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. So maybe for some people, maybe for Mick, that would be nice for you. If in your marriage you just couldn't talk about how your day went.
Well, if I was married and had a girlfriend, then that'd be thrilled. Yeah. But just gives you more time to talk about all the men you watch online all day. Just grappling with each other.
That's the next thing. She'll be like, "How was your work today?" And I'll be like, "I just watched men lift weights."
Yeah, oiling themselves up, and then
that's all I did.
Grappling on the ground.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I bet she's like dissecting fucking aliens by now. I bet she's seeing like some major fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, she's working in the
she wants to tell you so bad. Yeah,
she's in the Chinese unit. So she's.
Is that because she put on her form that she likes K-pop, and they go, well, she must know that Chinese. It's close enough.
Yeah, so I think the choice is Mick's girlfriend is his trumpet. Do you have a feminine name for your trumpet, Mick?
I don't. Should we name it now?
Suzanne.
I feel like all musicians I feel like have some sort of name for their.
No, I'm not good enough to be able to name my trumpet yet. I've actually got to be good to do that.
Chase, do you have a name for your trumpet?
No.
Do you have a name for my trumpet, Chase?
It can be a shitty name. It doesn't have to be a good name.
I don't know. I mean, I still have that one that Rip gave me a long time ago.
Rip gave you a trumpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
upon his 18th birthday. It was.
Can we see like in a video of you just like bending it in half?
Fuck no, I'm not gonna do that.
That'd be so disrespectful.
Does Alex even coach women?
I do. Chase, question: What is the sex parity in your coaching? What is the male to female relationship?
How often are you having sex with your clients, Chase?
What is that?
I have at the gym currently. In my classes, I have about 2 women, and then the rest, which is about
1,000 men.
12, 13, 14 men.
I'm counting.
Is this women?
Or men? The number of times Alex has had sex.
Yes. Yes. So 6 out of 41 are women.
Jesus.
6. This many.
That's better than the average, probably, though, wouldn't it, for the starting strength coach?
Yeah,
it's been higher in the past. It's been higher in the past, I think. I think my peak girl
Did they watch
crew,
this podcast and a few of them dropped out?
I think my peak girl crew was, I think, 9. I think. Yes.
That's not bad.
Not too far away, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. I don't coach them any differently at all. I don't think than I do with my guys, and I think that may be a mistake. I'm sure I'll realize that to be a mistake eventually.
What are you doing? You're just like, hey, does your balls hurt? Does your
what's up, bro? Your dick looks great.
Yeah.
Well, how often are these women older? From
how often are these women older?
Why? Who cares?
15%. Despite being 15% of the clients, they constitute how many of my problems, Greg? How many of these women are older? I think all of them are. None of them are younger than me because I'm 20.
Question sounds so creepy.
Yeah,
like whatever way you think about it, it's like, do you want to know if they're older or they're younger? Like either way, it
What is the demographic?
What is the demographics of my female clients? No, but they all generally. I think only 2 of them don't do some sort of sport. So the other 4 of them are doing athletics, which is quite nice. So I'm a big fan of that.
I currently don't coach any women. I don't think I ever have on online coaching. It's been nothing but like older dudes or just middle-aged guys.
Old dude, middle-aged guys. That's it.
Just the way you like them, Chase.
The dunk.
Hell yeah. Just like I'm back in the good old Catholic
Wichita
church.
Falls.
Yeah.
Would any of that... You know what? Actually, let me think about that legitimately. I'll give that an earnest shot. Married... Just married.
Doesn't
not married.
Hey.
Not
to
married.
be honest, don't care.
It's
not the top of my priority list, to be honest.
Not married. Yeah, that one may be a good candidate. Mick.
Starting strength coaches set up.
I can't talk to her. No. No, she's great. She has great physique. How old are you, Mick?
I mean, 45, but
45? She's contemporary, I think.
What does that mean?
She's in the realm. I think she's a little bit south of where you are in age. Yeah, I can try to make this happen. And be like, I have an eccentric software developer musician who lives in Australia.
Yeah. I mean, there's no red flag. There's no red flags there at all. I mean, we'll do a Zoom call, live stream Zoom call date.
Yes, I'll be like, listen, you need to abandon your life. Yeah. Abandon your life in Connecticut. Leave. Go to Australia.
Can we do it on the podcast? Can we hook you up?
Yeah, we'll live stream the whole thing.
Yeah. I think it would be better if you came to America, Mick, rather than her going to Australia.
Not for me.
Not for you?
That's a whole lot of work.
Have you considered emigrating to America? Have you considered that process before?
I did, but it's just a lot of work.
You'd marry into it though with her, so just slam dunk, you easy green card.
Yeah.
I think I can get a green card anyway. We have some weird visa thing going on with America because we go into all your dumb wars with you, so we actually have a fast track path.
Yeah. For every soldier that gets hit by an IED, you get X amount of green cards for your country. That's what it is. That's true. That's the
Mitch, where do you live? Yeah, I'm going to say that on a fucking internet live stream.
What city are you in? I don't think the city.
He's in Topeka.
I'm not even going to say that. I'm in northern Australia. That's about as far as I'm going with that.
Who the fuck knows? There's 3 cities. You can't go that wrong.
Yeah, I know. There really is. It
has a balcony. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
There's a balcony.
Mick, have you ever done a walkabout where you just travel the land or anything?
No. Look at my complexion. No? You think I could really go walking in the desert? It'd be like you going to walk in the desert.
I'd fucking do it. I'd be burnt as shit, but I'd fucking have a grand old time.
You would die in the first 35 seconds. No, I'm not doing any walkabout. That's for Alex. He's more of the shade of person that could do that.
I would love a walkabout, man.
Yeah.
I would love a walkabout. That'd be good fun. I would get in touch with my indigenous ancestors.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you follow Rusty on Instagram, he did the American version of a walkabout.
What's
Did
that?
you see
Did he
that?
just get high in the desert?
He was on a quad bike with a couple of guns riding through the
Sick.
desert somewhere.
Nice. He
Looked
just
like
goes
something out of Mad
to
Max.
he goes to
looked like
remote
Mad Max.
locations to edit videos. He just takes his laptop out and into the desert to edit, and then comes back. Yeah. Oh, man.
God, but what? Can we get Rusty back on this? What's going on? Do you guys talk to him at all?
Like I
I
saw
haven't
him
talked to him
over
in a
the
while.
weekend, but he's just busy doing a bunch of video editing and then coaching.
Hmm.
I don't know if he has time for us. I think we're just old news to him.
I'm curious as to when that kind of central team of like Nick, Rusty, Bree, when they're going to expand that, because I can't imagine they can handle all of that work for long sustainably.
That's
You know what I
gotta be a
mean?
lot of work.
Don't know.
Yeah, they have to be doing so much shit already. I think it's like, I feel like they have to keep kind of pushing that out. You know, that could be you, Chase. You could start editing videos for the crew.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Yoka Ingles is trying to like get to my house so he can train with me.
You
but
might
I feel
go
like
to. You wouldn't know where I could train, wouldn't you? Might go to Queensland. John Carr going to Queensland. Is Queensland in Australia? Is that a good hint?
Is Queensland in
Number one.
Australia? Yes, it is.
Okay, confirmed. I don't know where Queensland
Just
is.
gotta look at a map.
It's basically
Oh,
one
God.
quarter of Australia, the
The whole
northeast
quarter.
part.
Is it a state or is it a city?
It's a state.
It's a state. Okay, are you in Queensland, Mick?
Yes.
You can tell us the state, Mick.
I'm
no
in
one's
Queensland.
gonna be able to dox this. So you're in Queensland. Okay. So look up
maybe.
business filings in Queensland.
Yeah.
For anyone named Mick, and then that's your go-to. Man. Chase, are
Jews
you gonna
in
be...
Queensland. That's what you Google.
Yeah, go to all the synagogues in Queensland. Chase, on topic question. So you have your competition. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday. And do you have to travel pretty far for this one or no?
Dallas to Oklahoma City. It's about 2 hours and like 15 minutes.
Oh, dude,
it's
that's
about 2
great.
hours. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Are you going to be... Phoebe's going with you, Josh is going with you.
Yep.
Phoebe's recording the whole thing. You're going to be a vlogger, a Zoomer vlogger.
Who's carrying your food?
Yeah.
Have you got someone just walking it in with a wheelbarrow or something?
Fuck no.
Mm-hmm. What are weigh-ins,
probably...
by the way? Is it weigh-ins morning of, competing when?
It's about 2 hours before.
2 hours before?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think I lift at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So around like noon, they'll have weigh-ins or so.
Okay, gotcha. Man, that's exciting. I'm going to stay posted for it.
Can we live stream it through the Strength Club channel?
No.
I don't know.
Why?
Absolutely not. Well, because all of these competitions, they'll tend to have like the broadcasting rights to a specific thing. Like for grappling tournaments,
It's
you
not
can't
the Olympics.
you can't, even just for normal grappling tournaments like a judo or a jiu-jitsu tournament, I can't just go and stream it online, you know, because it's like it's the tournament's property. I doubt he could get away with it because Chase has a sizable following, but you could try. I would just do it until it stops working, Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
yeah, this is a question from G-Lock. What do you eat on comp day? What's the plan for eating on comp day, Chase?
What I've eaten in the past is if I'm competing, what I've ate in the past, my bad. So what I've ate in the past is just typical breakfast stuff like a few eggs, some carbs. I'll kind of usually heavily carb load that day. So like pancakes, hash browns, stuff like that. But since this is going to be a little bit later in the evening and I have to do a weigh-in before, I'll probably drink a lot of Gatorade, do a little bit of some water. After my weigh-ins, I'll probably just hit up like Whataburger or some shit like that. And then,
Whataburger?
Yeah, just kind of refeed.
Dude, can your intestines handle fast food like that you can just do fast food and then exercise?
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's true. That's the true American spirit right there.
Hell yeah.
That is a Midwest specific adaptation.
Just a gene now. Yeah, it's just spliced into our DNA.
You can just handle Whataburger and then go pull 130
totally
immediately.
Fucking fine. Yeah.
Oh man, that's really funny. And another question for you. I was curious about this. On your warm-ups, are you going to hit like some kind of fast clean pulls or just kind of heavy fast deadlifts prior to anything, or are you just going to do cleans only?
No, just cleans only.
Cleans only. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think about any questions for you. I think that's all the questions I had for you. I'm excited for you, Chase.
Good luck, man. Smash it out, bro.
Excited for all the posts. Any other parting shots, guys? Anything else we wanted to chat about?
Not really.
I think that's it. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the Alt-Right Barbell Club stream from what was today, October 18th?
19th in
19th?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're in the future in
I
Queensland,
live in
right?
the future in Queensland,
October
Australia.
19th in
Yeah.
Queensland, Australia. All right, later, guys.